Hi, I'm Varun here. I'm here to explain my first experiment of C Sharp and .NET Lab. Here, the first experiment is about designing and developing a library management application using C Sharp with the use of inheritance and concepts along with that. Um, so I have to create three login details, the three separate logins such as admin, faculty, and student, and each should have the following features like the faculties could search book, reserve book, borrow book, return book, renew book, and book issue details and things like that. And I have to complete this using the concepts of inheritance and I learned several different concepts such as abstract and sealed, such like that. And this is my first program that in C Sharp, which is supposed to display which is supposed to work as a library management system. And here I have created an sealed class, which means it cannot be inherited. The sealed class name is message, and this has a constructor which says welcome to library management system. And I have created interface operation which can be inherited to the abstract class, which can be extended to the abstract class. So borrow book and return book must be, so what interface does is whatever the functions inside the interface must be implemented in the class. So that's what interface does. So I have created an abstract class user which extends operation interface. And here I have created, and here is an constructor. Here we have three variable attributes which are which are string name, string id, and booleans issued, which I've been using in the later part of the program. And here in the user constructor, I have two parameters, string n and string I, which will be passed from another class. And the string n is the name and id will be passed to the constructor. And it sets the name is equal to the sent name, and id is equal to the sent id. And here we have a search book function which gets the book's name and checks whether it is equal to the whether it is equal to the equal to any of the books in the database. And if it was if it has found a match, then it displays book found, and the name of the book will be displayed. And borrow book lets you search for a book, and if that book matches, then it lets you borrow the book. And if there is not a match, then it will never then it will not allow you to borrow the book. And here's a return book function which shows the books which can be returned. If it's not, then it will display, if it is equal, the book.id book is equal to the id, then it shows that it can be returned. Then if you enter the book id, then it can be returned. And here is a details function which has been declared inside abstract class. And here I have created another class faculty which extends user, and it has an and then it has a constructor, a default constructor inside with two parameters of name and id. Here I have an details function which displays the name of the book and id. And it has another variable res which has been declared inside faculty function. And here is a student function which extends user, because under users there are three classes: faculty, student, and admin. So this is the student function with different variables and constructors have been declared inside. And here is another class book, which also extends user, which shows the reserved, what are the reserved function, reserved book which can be reserved by faculty and admin. And here is another constructor. It's just a default constructor, and here we have a reserve function which reserves the book so that our students cannot the students who are not reserved cannot access the books. So it has an it has an value as true if book is equals to the id. If this function is invoked, then the book is reserved. And we have the main program here. This is where the program starts implementing, and here we have declared all the required variables. And it has three strings: name, id, and book. And then here we have three arrays: faculty array, student array, and book array, which which has the all faculty details, student details, and book details. It uses and then it uses a menu driven function using while loop. And if and it also uses a switch case to get the input from the user to know whether he's an admin, to enter the details. And then if it here's another while loop inside the admin class, so here we have add faculty. This is just menu driven functions. Here add ch gets the input, and there's another switch case inside which lets you enter the faculty's name, faculty's id, and store it in the faculty array. And it increments the array's number. It increments the it increments I, which is the variable of the array. Then we have in the next case, if it was a case 2, then it is an add student. So it lets you add student's name and student's id, and it lets you save in the student array. Here is the third case is lets you add a book's name and book's id. And the fourth case is it shows you the list of faculties, list of students, and list of books that have been saved. And here is the next case of the previous switch case. So it is the login for faculty. It welcomes the faculty and lets you enter an id, and lets you search a book, reserve a book, borrow a book, return book, and view details, everything. And there's another switch case which lets you enter the book's id and all the details in it, and it lets you to borrow a book, return a book, and it also lets you to reserve a book and search a book. And here then we have a student, another switch case which is the login for a student, which lets you enter your id to log in. And it also lets you search a book, borrow a book, return a book, and view book details. And that's it, guys. If you chose anything wrong, then it will show you wrong choice. So let's run the program. Lets you log in as admin. Okay, I'm gonna add the faculty. Faculty's name is Karna, faculty id 1, and I'm gonna add a student. Student's name is Varun, student's id is 1. I'm gonna add a book. Book's name is Harry Potter's collection, maybe. I forgot to enter the book id. So now I'll let you show I'm gonna add a book again. HP book id is 1. So now I'm going to enter show details. So it's going to show the Harry Potters, which I haven't entered the id, so it doesn't display the id. So here I have displayed id, so HP is shown. Now I'm going to log out from this, and I'm going to log in into faculty, which shows welcome faculty, and welcome faculty, and if I enter the ID, it shows the faculty's name is Kanna, and I can search the book. Book ID is 1, so it's from the name is HP, and I'm going to enter again, and if I press faculty again, I'm going to enter the ID faculty. It lets me log in, so it lets me borrow a book. So if I enter the ID as 1, it lets me borrow, and if I again log into faculty and ID and we are going to view the details. So it shows the HP book borrowed is equal to true, so it shows that the HP book has been borrowed. And here again, log in as a faculty, enter the ID true, then it shows now the borrowed book can be returned. If I enter the book ID, then it's true, and it can show the details are shown that the book has been borrowed. And that's it, guys. Thank you for watching.